Hey guys, Marcinkin here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to be going over the data download from this morning. Obviously on both versions, the global one was a few hours behind the JP one. Very big update for the game today, in terms of size. Quite a lot of stuff in here to go over, but obviously full version app update where they just fixed a couple of bugs. The icon has now changed for the app as well. You can see on your phone, the actual app icon is now different, and of course we have all of the stuff for the Cell, beginning of the Cell celebration, including information on the banner, which is going to be at a slightly different time compared to usual. So we'll go over all of that stuff in here as well. We've got the April Fool's character EZA's, no new unit again this year, and seemingly, I only really thought about it this morning, but they didn't do the thing this year where they advertised like a fake game mode for April Fool's Day, because usually what they would do is advertise like the pretend game mode, and then when it got to like the actual April Fool's Day, then it would be a sense of like, oh, you know, we can't release this new, they just make up a thing, right? Like, we can't release this new mode for some reason due to like a bug or whatever, so here's a bunch of other stuff as like as compensation, right? When, you know, obviously the new mode never existed in the first place, but it's just a little bit of fun, and they've done that every year for the past few years. Last year we didn't get a free card, but we got the fake game mode was like the Dokkan city builder thing, so like a Sim City kind of thing. Had Hercule in all of the advertisement stuff. So while we all kind of hoped that the April Fool's card would be the Super Saiyan Hercule, and we did finally get Super Saiyan Hercule, but only as a support memory and a Zenny statue, which was a little bit disappointing. So this year, no new card and no new pretend game mode, which is a little bit unfortunate. It's a shame when they obviously Dokkan's been doing some crazy stuff. The 10th anniversary was very successful, but it's always a shame when they do something like less than the time before, right? So anyway, we're going to go over all the data download stuff. Shout out to Proton as always for putting the information together into the handy thread. There's all the stuff you can see in the files, and let's go and have a look. So obviously we have a promo movie, as we always do now with these celebrations, that just includes snippets of the character animations. Here is our boy STR Perfect Cell. I hadn't actually seen his SSR art before. The SSR art's pretty cool. But you can see here, available, this is GMT. Now that the clocks have changed in the UK as well, this is like an hour behind. So the banner time for Cell, and obviously the banner unit Android 18, is 1 AM UK time. So this is basically a good, what, now that the clocks have changed, it would have been 6. So it's like 5 hours earlier than banners usually are. So I'll be live to summon. I've updated my stream schedule, but this means that the banner is basically at 5 PM PST, which is like 8 PM EST, and then obviously 1 AM UK, 2 AM like EU time, right? So banner out 5 hours earlier than we have been used to seeing with the recent banners. Like Daima, the Saiyan Day one obviously came out at a slightly different time because they wanted it to be the 318 thing, but the Daima Vegeta, Buhan, Slug, like all these banners recently have all been 5 AM UK time, and now it's 1 AM, which is actually probably slightly better for me because it means I can stay up a little bit later rather than having to get up super early. So like I say, I will be live to summon when the banner comes out. We also have the Awakening, the TUR Awakening for the free-to-play Int Daima Mini Vegeta. That's coming out on the morning of the 4th. The Goku wasn't particularly great. I've had a quick look at this guy's details. He seems okay for a free-to-play unit. He's just like a floating support unit with guard and then like a 30% chance to dodge. So he's not anything too crazy. Like the toughest bosses obviously will obliterate him with a super attack, but in some of the difficult content he should be able to tank normals, and he will be supporting the team. So as far as free-to-play units go, he's obviously not completely terrible. And you fight Tamagami number 2 as a boss, so obviously he has a boss asset now. Then we have the this one is the Solve the Mystery, the Infiltrated World. I don't know actually what this stage is, the true ending one. Is this just one of the stages from the April Fool's event. I'm not actually 100% sure. It's not the new stage for the Cell medals, because this is here. So it's the Horrific Cell Games Stage 5. This is where you obviously get the medals to awaken the Dokkan Fest Cell and the Android 18. There'll be missions, obviously, to get a bunch of those as well. The Extreme Z area, Special Characters Edition. This is for the EZA for the Para Brothers, who were a previous April Fool's unit. They skipped over them. They should have got an EZA last year, I believe, but they didn't. They're getting it this year instead, though. From having a quick look at their details on paper, they seem like they could be an okay floating support unit, but they're not on a lot of teams, so I'm not sure that they really are going to have a lot of use. But we have a new DB story event, so one of the old story events being reworked into a DB story event. Has the bonus drop Super Saiyans, has 8 stages, so you can get a few extra stones there. And then one of the things we can get out of this is a support memory. I think this is it, right? Although this is the animation that it shows in the event, you can see, but this is the support memory. It's the activation of Android 16. We've got the Diamond stage, obviously, where you get the medals from. And then the big one is we got the EZA for the STR Goku and Gohan and the AGL Cell. Now, straight away, disappointingly, we can see this is one Extreme Z battle to EZA both characters. No idea why they've done it like this, right? Normally, this only happens with like Goku and Vegeta dual releases, and we get the Destined Rivals ones. But these guys are two separate, even though they were a dual Dokkan Fest, right, for a previous Golden Week. They're two separate Dokkan Fest TURs. This absolutely should have been two 30-stage EZAs, which is a bit disappointing because it means obviously 30 odd less stones than if we had two separate ones. Obviously the bright side, like the silver lining, is that you only have to play through one 30-stage EZA rather than two, but kind of annoying that it's essentially half the stones. But their EZAs, we'll go over their details here, but they should be pretty good. They did get tweeted out today by both versions. Just like the data download, Global was a little bit behind, but Global did actually tweet out their details eventually. And then, yeah, we've got the assets for them for the EZA. There's obviously all the medals there. Battlefield, because that resets in a few days. I don't know if it's a full reset with like a new, with Cooler as the final boss changing, or if it's just the type change. And we have a treasure item here that can be acquired through monthly panel missions, can be exchanged for special wallpapers at Barber's shop in the future. It's called 10th anniversary reward ticket, so I don't know if it's just going to be the same sort of like shop lineup that was available with the Chronicles rewards, where it's just like all of the wallpapers that are currently available, not like any special ones that are unique to the shop, but obviously we will have to wait and see. Then there's the pity coins. Obviously the Cell banner is going to have pity. We also have tickets. No surprise, Global gets tickets for like every banner now. That's the support memory there, the 16 activated. Target Goku allies attack and defense 16% for 2 turns. I mean, it's not the craziest. There are better support memories, I guess, but depending like which team you're running, like it could be useful, I suppose. And then they're also doing the thing where they boost, or like EZA, the actual Super Saiyan Hercule support memory. This one's not bad. Superclass allies key 5, attack and defense 10%, and saviors or earth protecting heroes 10% attack and defense for 4 turns when there's a Realm of Gods or extreme class enemy, which is obviously a lot easier to condition to meet. Extreme class enemy characters who are superclass saviors or earth protecting heroes, which to be fair is most of them. It's 20% attack and defense and 5 key for 4 turns, which is pretty good considering how many of the LRs are like on those teams, right? So pretty good. Then we've got the idle animations. I mean, Cells has got to be one of the most disappointing ones so far. It is literally, he just unfolds his arms and that's it. So then there's also Dragon Ball Super Broly, the armor version, which is the power up, and then the like non-armored like full power version as well. Interesting that him and Gogeta have both gotten summon the idle animation updates recently, even though neither of them have received new units or like new EZAs, so that's very interesting. We also have new summon animations for the banner, with Cell as the main unit. So we've got the rewind is kind of like, did they use that for the worldwide instead of the Whis? It's like the time machine. But yeah, you've got Cell doing the Kamehameha as the summon thing. Cell flying in. There's the Goku Black Rift version. And then, yeah, you've got, like, instead of Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3, we've got the second form all the way up to Perfect and then Super Perfect Cell. So, pretty cool that they're adding those in, considering this is just like a filler Dokkan Fest. We've got a couple of new screen cracks as well, the Fat Self-Destruct Cell and then Perfect Cell. So, yeah, pretty good. A couple of new characters as well. Cell Jr. and Dr. Gero can be characters that fly in on the summon screen as well. So, that's definitely some interesting stuff all combined into the data download here. Some of the stuff is interestingly spaced out as well. So we've got like the Daima Vegeta EZA, the Awakening comes out in a couple of days. The EZAs are on the 3rd. So we've got the banner comes out on the 1st. The EZAs come out on the 3rd. The Daima Vegeta Awakening is on the 4th. The DB story is on the 8th. So stuff is spread out. There's also new EX missions for the Goku and Frieza Blue Zone, but those don't come into play until the 8th as well. So there's a lot of stuff scheduled to come out over the next week or so. The Cell banner comes out tonight. Let's have a quick look at the EZA details for the Cell and the Goku and Gohan. So if we take a look here, go to the zoomed out view. So first form Cell. This guy is, now we've seen kind of the blueprint for 200% leaders, where all they're really doing for their leader skill in terms of an EZA is giving one extra key to the plus 30%, like secondary categories. So they're still 200% leaders, but they're giving units 4 key instead of 3 if they're on the full 200% leader skill. So he's got key 1, attack and defense 250, high chance to dodge. When attacking with 12 or more key, he gets an extra 170% defense. 2 or more enemies, he gets extra attack and defense and crit and dodge chance. And 3 or more enemies, extra attack and defense and crit and dodge chance. Obviously not something that's going to come into play very often. But it does mean if you are fighting 3 enemies, he has an 85% chance to dodge, which is pretty good. And then when HP is 50% or more, key 2, additional attack with a high chance to become a super, damage reduction, chance of performing a crit, and chance to dodge 17%. Actually, that means if you're fighting 3 enemies and you're above 50% HP, he actually has a 100% chance to dodge, because that adds up to 102%. So that's pretty good. And then, yeah, starting from turn 3, obviously you absorb. So straight away on his next appearance, you absorb Android 17. Oh, yeah, just to go back, actually, his... we didn't look at his super attack effects, because he greatly raises attack, which is an infinite stack, greatly raise defense for 1 turn, and then does immense damage to the enemy. Then the second form Cell, 280% attack and defense, guard, damage reduction, chance to crit and chance to dodge 17%, 180% attack and defense when attacking with 12 or more key, 2 or more enemies, he gets extra attack and defense and chance to crit, chance to dodge plus 18%. Key is 50% or more, key 1, additional attack with a high chance to become a super, damage reduction, chance to crit and dodge 18%. So he just has 35% dodge chance and guard when you're facing a single enemy, as long as you're above 50% HP. And then he is still greatly raising attack with the infinite and then raise defense for 1 turn. Then he becomes the Perfect Cell. And this is where obviously he then gets like all the abilities combined and becomes much, much better. Key 3 and attack and defense 400%, damage reduction, chance to crit and chance to dodge 35%. For 3 turns from his entry turn, he has guard. When attacking with 12 or more key, 180% attack and defense. And then when HP is 50% or more, he launches an additional attack that has a great chance to become a super and has chance to crit and chance to dodge 35%. So he only has guard for 3 turns, but as long as you're at 50% or more HP, he has 70% chance to dodge, as well as having the 35% damage reduction to back that up a little bit. 400% defense start of turn. And then obviously he's greatly raising attack and defense for 1 turn on his super attack effect. So he's not really a slot 1 unit, but post super, not only will he be able to hit really hard, but he'll have very decent raw defense for post super, coupled with 35% damage reduction and a 70% chance to dodge. So that is definitely very, very good for this guy. Obviously on the new Cell team or linked up with like Tech Cell, he's going to be able to go pretty crazy. And then we have the STR Goku and Gohan. Now these guys I've always like been looking forward to their EZA because I feel like they have real potential. The Goku's biggest problem was him not having any built-in additional. Because remember, to exchange into Gohan, it's an active skill, which means they can't change the condition. and the condition is that Goku has to super 3 times. But because he didn't have any built-in additional, you had to like hope and pray you would get an additional super on turn 1 or turn 2, so that then on his 3rd turn you could exchange into the Gohan, right? Whereas now, we can take a look at his kit here. We can see he has Ki 2, attack and defense 200%, 159% when attacking with 12 or more Ki. For 5 turns from his entry turn, he has like an extra 159% defense, great chance to crit, so 70%, launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super, great chance to evade enemy attacks within the turn after performing a super. So once he's supered, he has a 70% chance to dodge. He has a 70% chance to crit, and then yeah, he has the additional attack that has a 70% chance to become a super. Now the good thing about that is by doing an extra attack, it means you get the extra chance to trigger his hidden potential additional. So we will see a lot of turns now where even if this additional from his passive is a normal, he then does the additional from the hidden potential, and obviously that could be a normal as well, but then yeah, 50-50 chance of it being a super, which means there is now the chance that this guy actually can super 3 times on his first appearance. And then he has a thing starting from the 6th turn, so basically the longer he stays out, the worse he gets, right? He gets a little bit less defense, has less crit chance, his additional has less chance of becoming a super, and he has less dodge after he supers, and that's it really. Ideally the point is that by the time he would get to his 6th turn, you'd be ready to exchange into Gohan anyway, because he'll have appeared 3 times, so even if you only got the 1 super every turn, then on the next turn you would be able to exchange him. So the fact that he then gets weaker doesn't really matter too much. And after he dodges an attack for the first time, he then gets a permanent 59% attack and defense buff. So it's only got to be 1 dodge. He doesn't have to keep doing it like every turn or anything like that. So that is pretty good. So he's looking decent. His super attack is greatly raise attack, which is an infinite stack, greatly raise defense for 1 turn, and does immense damage to the enemy. And so again, once you've done 3 super attacks, you can exchange into Gohan. Gohan has Ki 2, 250% attack and defense. After receiving an attack, he gets a permanent 58% attack buff. The more HP you have, the more defense you get, up to 158%. For 3 turns from his initial entry turn, he has guard and 58% damage reduction. So the point of this is that you put him in front of as many attacks as possible, right? Because then the number of times that guard is activated, which remember he only has for 3 turns, he then gets a bunch of other buffs. So once it's been activated twice, he gets 158% extra defense, 10% damage reduction, and 20% crit chance. When it's been activated 3 times, he gets attack and defense 158%, another 10% damage reduction, and 30% crit chance. And then once it's been activated 5 times, he then gets permanent guard, has 10% more damage reduction, and another 50% crit chance. So this all adds up to, once he's been guard activated 5 times, he's got an extra 30% damage reduction, he has a 100% chance to crit. So obviously the 58% damage reduction he gets is only for 3 turns, but if guard activated means every time he gets hit or even when he dodges. So on the first turn that you get Gohan out, if he gets hit or dodges 5 times in that first turn, that's that whole part of his passive fully activated. That means on the second appearance, when he still has the 3 turn buff, he would have 88% damage reduction, which is pretty crazy. And then obviously once that runs out, you've hopefully been hit or dodged 5 times, so you've still got guard, and then he has 30% damage reduction. So he's still a slot 2 unit because he's got some good stats here. He's massively raising attack and defense on super, so his post super defense will be very good, and he has 30% damage reduction. So he's certainly going to be very solid. But yeah, the attack placements has always been kind of a thing with this guy. Like, you don't want to bring him out on a turn where there's only like 1 attack in each slot, right? Because then it's going to be, you're kind of putting all your eggs into the basket of like, on the next turn you have to be hit 4 times, otherwise you're not going to get your permanent guard, which potentially will be an issue. But Gohan should be very, very good. He should be able to hit some incredibly high numbers. Like I say, if you can get that 5 hits in on his first turn, on his second turn he's basically invincible, because he's going to have 88% damage reduction and guard. So he looks very, very good. So both the EZAs do look very, very good. Obviously, we will have to wait and see them in game. I do have them both Rainbow Full Link level 10, so we'll be doing videos on them. Same for the Diamond Vegeta and the Para brothers. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. As I say, shout out to Proton for the data download thread. What are you guys most looking forward to from this celebration? Are you looking forward to the sale? Are you looking forward to the EZAs? Let me know all your thoughts. I will be doing a summon or skip video later going into more detail about Cell's banner, because I think he could have a pretty interesting banner lineup, but we'll go through that in the later video. So let me know all your thoughts on the stuff in the data download. What are you most looking forward to? Tell me in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.